Hello, Fazel. This is Michael Scott. I'm also in Virginia, so we kind of had the same data that we were looking at and the same disciplinary actions by the Department of Mental Health. Department of Health professionals. So I noticed the same kind of disturbing sexual relationships that were present in the disciplinary actions. These dual relationships was really scary that this was the predominant kind of thing that was occurring within counseling that led to board decisions. Now, I don't know if it's possible that in Virginia the board is less likely to adjudicate things, and so maybe it's only the more egregious things that make it to public record, or if it is simply just that many counselors doing that in comparison to other forms of infractions. Now, there's kind of those two categories that, in those dual relationships that we both spoke about, which was, those kind of boundary crossing violation type areas that are, maybe unprofessional versus these egregious sexual relationships. And so I found this interesting study from 2015 in China, kind of tracking how dual relationships changed over time in China. One of the things they talked about was this thing called the Ren King, which is a Chinese philosophy that is very commonplace of having to have deep personal connections with individuals as kind of part of their culture. And so what they were able to track was that over time, they were actually able to reduce some of the negative aspects of dual relationships as well as get rid of those dual relationships. And so what they are theorizing is that the normalization of the profession within the culture was what actually caused individual kind of spiritual and Chinese cultural values to be superseded by the values and the needs of the profession. Once people understood what counselors and therapists and psychologists were and how they worked, there was less likely to have those too close of friendships. There was less gift giving. There was less counseling among friends. As opposed to, like a client and a professional relationship. And so it kind of got me thinking, could advancing public awareness of counseling and what it is we do and how professional it needs to be and kind of being seen more on the face by, American society at large could kind of keep a shield up in the public from wanting to advance those dual relationships from their end, as opposed to some of the aspects that we focus on policing our own community. And I'd be curious to see what you think about that.